Welcome everybody to another episode of Cels Lounge. I'm your host Cels, and I'm here today with a friend of mine that I've been doing work with for a while. Been collaborating with a lot of things. We're gonna have ourselves a drink and have some talks. Please welcome to the platform, Melissa Zahs. Melissa, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
It's great to see you. Great to be here. Thank you for coming aboard. So obviously we pre-gamed a little bit. Now, I'm not a bartender, but I visit bars quite a bit. What do you think about my concoction? I made yourself a tequila sunrise.
It's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not too strong, kind of balanced out.
Definitely balanced.
Wow.
Perfect. I'm not gonna get too tipsy off of that.
Well, hold on now. Maybe I gotta put some more vodka in there. Well, actually, no. I didn't make you a tequila sunrise. I made you
It was
the vanilla dream.
Vanilla dream.
That's what I made.
What it was, yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I gotta give you some more vodka. I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. So, as we're talking about drinks, at one point in time, you used to be a bartender.
I did.
How long have you bartended for?
It was a long time ago by now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like your time as a bartender. What would you say?
I think about a couple of years.
Yeah.
Only. Yeah. It wasn't too long.
What can you say is the pluses and some of the things that are not so pleasant as far as being a bartender?
Definitely being able to like get paid every single shift. Like the tips were amazing, and obviously that goes venue to venue. Sometimes you didn't have a great night,
Right.
and that would definitely be a negative. Like if you have a night where you only have 3 customers, which has definitely happened.
Right.
You get paid 3 customers worth. So that's a good thing and a bad thing, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Also, like, just seeing the huge variety of people when you're a bartender would also be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, because you have people that are not so bar friendly, so to speak, you know.
Like pleasant to deal with.
Yeah, you know, give you, you fucked my drink up, what's wrong with you, or getting into an argument with you, or has that ever happened? Anybody ever get into an argument with you being behind the bar?
I don't necessarily think that with me, but you know, I've seen some bad, poor decisions being made, and they usually have an argument with whoever the bar back or like security guys or whoever. They'll fight about it. I'm just here to tell on you. So.
So I will say I did visit you one time at a bar establishment when you was a bartender. I don't know if I went there specifically for you or if I just went there to check it out.
I think it was both a little bit.
I think I found out that you was there. I'm like, fuck, let me go check this place out.
Yeah.
So I remember you telling me specifically because that bar actually was not too far away from the university.
Right.
So a lot of college kids, from what I heard, used to come to that establishment. And I heard a couple of stories back then about how they pretty much trash shit, you know. When that happens, or when you know that there's establishments like that, like, is there a way that you like kind of prepare yourself to deal with any fuckery that might end up happening that night, or do you just look at it as like, you know, this is the type of crowd that comes here. There's people that's gonna de-escalate anything that happens, so it is what it is. Like, is there a certain mindset when it comes down to them type of
that's
scenarios?
You have to be a certain kind of person to like prepare yourself for that, but like before you ever have to work at a place like that, I just like wouldn't. Like if I had really noticed
No, that was gonna be what it was gonna be.
Yeah, notice like what was going on and everything. Like, I mean, I remember a pool table, just things were always going missing. Like they were like toddlers and we had to take their toys away. Like we took the pool table away and like a beer pong table. I just remember that getting like leapt on. Like they just like jumped up in the air onto ping pong table. Or
because they were going to take it away?
Table. No, this is just because, like, we gave them the beer pong table in replacement of the pool table, and they destroyed that too. So, you can't have nice things.
You can't have nice things if you're going to have certain crowds that are going to come and destroy the shit.
Exactly. So, I would definitely just, like, as a bartender, visit the place a couple times if that's your vibe, and figure out what kind of crowd you're going to be dealing with, and if you can. Because I didn't do that.
Now, on top of you being in the bar industry, you're also an actress. Been in the film community for a while. Let me see if I can get all your accolades correct. Okay, you're an actor. There has been times when producer, is that part of your resume?
I mean, I don't.
Have you done it at least once?
But I am credited as a producer.
If you're credited, that means there was some part in it. Okay. Not only that, but modeling. You've done modeling before.
Yeah, for the Toledo Fashion Week that gave an out run. And I would do that anytime. It's so much fun. I love the clothes.
Oh yeah.
Like just having an entire day that you
get to dress up.
Get to just dress up and like put on different shoes and wear this, and people are just like pulling different outfits, and they're like, oh my gosh, this would be so perfect for you.
Right.
Yeah, I love it.
What would you say is between acting and modeling, is there one that you choose more than the other, or just as they come you do?
Definitely, probably acting. I mean, it's just fun to like actually get to play a part and portray something. Modeling is super. I mean, it's fun though. Like I said, like it's like doing that. You just don't get to say anything.
Very true. I know that we definitely then cross paths in a few filming projects. Obviously my own, some ones that other people have done. When it comes down to the local film community, like, how do you feel that our local film community scene is? Do you think that it's like a community to where everyone's trying to help everyone? I know that there's people that only want to mess with certain people. That's just gonna be a thing. But do you think that the doors are, for the most part, open for any and all?
I mean, it's hard to say, because I kind of feel like it comes down to, like, who you know. And it is up to you, like, to go out there and meet people. That can be a little scary sometimes. So
it definitely can.
I would definitely categorize myself as one of the people who like only works with people that I know, unfortunately. But I do know that there's a huge variety of people that are branching out, which I think is super awesome.
I will say, when I first started doing this whole thing, I was terrified because I'm like, who is the right people to connect with? You know what I'm saying? And I've met good and bad. I done definitely had some bad connections. But I think the good ones outweigh the bad.
Oh, for sure.
But definitely, starting off, it can be terrifying because, it's like in this city, or just in the film community in general, like, everybody's been doing it for quite some time. Someone that's starting now, they gotta try and get in with people.
Their way up.
Yeah, get in with people that have been doing it for 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 years.
Which is luckily what I did when I first came in, which I didn't even know at the time. I just kind of made friends with the right people on accident, on purpose. I love the people that I met. Like you said, there's definitely a lot of those like big waving red flags in the community too. So those kind of like make you crawl back into your shell, like, wait, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna like work with anybody for the next like 6 months. That was weird, or whatever.
And them situations can happen. What would you say was your worst experience in a? I got my own story, but what's your worst experience as far as like being a part of a film, or just doing the art?
So I started when I was like 17, 18. So I was pretty young when I first started all of this out. And even at that age, it impressed me to see a grown man, a director, having a tantrum to the point where we're all pretty sure that he's about to smash the camera into the ground while it's raining outside, and we're like huddled in the car.
Just like, what the
And we're like,
fuck?
we'll just like reschedule this shoot, right? Like, we can do that because like it just started raining. We can just reschedule it. And he's just like mad about the weather. I'm like,
well, I mean,
what do you mean? It was embarrassing on his part because, I mean, he was the grown man. Like, what are you doing?
I would say that, whatever that you experienced was definitely like, all right, it ain't that big of a deal. But I will say, as a director myself.
Oh, it can ruin things. I totally do get it. But his behavior was like super erratic. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It was really bad. So.
Well, like I try and tell people before, when it comes down to like the plans that you have in place, always have some type of backup in case something falls short.
Expect things to go wrong.
Right. Expect the worst, and if it don't happen, it don't happen. But if it does happen, have a contingency plan. I mean, with the weather, like, I'm not a fan of filming outside, but when I do, I'm going to do it as early as possible because I got to worry about, the sun is constantly changing.
We're in Ohio too. We have one day it's snowing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it's like 60 degrees.
Which brings.
So you never know.
Exactly. What brings me to another situation. I was going to tell you probably my worst time on set, and it involves Talk Nerdy when we had the snowstorm in April.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
So
that was a rough day on set.
It was definitely a rough day for you. Okay. I will say that, but I will say that you surprised the fuck out of me. Just the fact that you still showed up. I know a while ago I had Gabe and Al Rios on the show, and this was brought up a little bit back then. But there are some other things that transpired on that day as well. But with you directly, I don't know how long we've known each other then. Maybe a couple of years, something like that. I get a phone call from you saying that you got into a car accident, and you had extras in the car too that was supposed to be coming to the set. My first thing was like, "Oh shit, are you okay?" You were like, very soft tone. "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just gonna go to the hospital and see what's going on."
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right," and you're like, "But I think I could still come." I'm thinking like, "Whoa, you still gonna come? You just got banged up. You just got fucked up."
Yeah.
And you were like, "I think I could still make it."
I mean, I was okay. I was perfectly fine. They both were perfectly fine. Like, the car was unfortunately not.
Yeah.
I totaled my car that day. But, luckily, I'm blessed with some amazing parents, and they brought me to the shoot that day.
Really?
And,
so your parents came up there that day?
Yeah, where my brother was absolutely sobbing because he was so worried. Because he was at
He was there that too, yeah, didn't he?
He was so, like, inconsolable that, like, it was so sweet, though, because he was just happy I was okay. I was too. We were all good, but...
I watched them scenes, and just knowing the backstory, I'm like, this chick was literally in a car accident for 45 minutes before we said action. And you came out there and nailed it, and I was like, yo, Like, I'm glad you're okay. I was very surprised and humbled at the fact that, you know, you still had it in your mind to where, like, you was going to still do something for me and for the team, you know. Now, granted, understand that if you couldn't come, I would have been completely understood. I wouldn't even have been pissed off. I mean, contingency plans. I was trying to figure out, like, a backup or how can I make this still work.
But it was definitely a huge ensemble piece, and
it was. I want to say we probably had, at least that night, it had to have been at least 50.
Yeah.
At least 50
so
people. Cast and crew.
It was definitely for the best that I was there.
But, I mean, again, I would have found a way if it couldn't have happened, and I didn't want you to feel any type of way, but you didn't show me anything. You like, I'm good, I'm here, we can film this, let's go. And you played the role like you never had an accident. That day was actually a weird day because it was in April. I want to say it was like either the first or second week of April.
It was like really early, yeah.
And out of nowhere, we just get this humongous snowstorm. Wind was flying. I think it was hailing. Wind was gusting like crazy. But then by the end of the night, cause we shot some stuff outside. Totally fine. And I'm thinking like, that's that Ohio bipolar shit, man.
Yeah, all in one day. All in one day. It's so crazy.
But it was definitely a humbling and experience. The movie actually, you know, it turned out great, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
Everything went great with that.
I think it was like a good distraction from the car accident for me too. Like I was like, I don't have to think about this right now. Like I'm working.
Right.
I'm just gonna not like think about the fact that I just totaled my car.
Well, you played it off well. You played it off well, and you did great the whole time. Another thing that I think about with that movie, about some of the things that we had to come across, like so the theater scene. You know, I was planning on having like that be like a packed theater. For Rory and for their scene to go check out this movie that only, you know, very smart or nerdy people will go see.
Right.
And nobody showed up except for Mark Klein.
I remember that. Yeah.
Mark Klein he's that go-to guy to be a part of everything, you know. But it worked out great that it wasn't packed.
Yeah.
You know.
It kind of like made it.
It made it more of a like only motherfuckers like y'all would want to come see some shit like this.
It's just you guys. Just
you know.
You.
But like I was thinking like, man, I rented that place out actually too. I rented out the Ohio Theater for that day.
Oh man.
Scene. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get my money's worth.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
And it worked out great at the fact that, you know, I think it worked out better that it was empty than it probably would have been if it was full. Mm-hmm. You know, like
I wouldn't just look like.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I don't think it would have had like the same. It wouldn't have the same aura. I think that it was good that it worked out that way. I'm like, hey, you know, things work in mysterious ways, but you know, we were blessed to have everything happen the way it happened. Have you ever decided, or have you ever thought about, since you act, have you ever thought about like taking other positions in filmmaking? Like, would you ever consider like wanting to be like an editor or be a director or executive producer? Like, would you ever want to take any of them positions, like either head on or like try and like merge into them to where like if you need to do it, you got some background?
I would probably. I definitely like have no computer skills, so I'm not editing anybody's anything.
That's fine.
But it would be a pretty cool experience to do some directing. I know, like I've helped Gabe and Al like a little bit here and there.
Right.
Like, just like wildly different things, like if they need me to run the camera or just help with like actors or whatever. So I think it would be nice to like fill that role for the right project, I guess.
And that's great, man. So basically you're open to it if it feels right.
Yeah.
What would you say, how many films would you say that you've been in? Like off the top of your head, can you give me a number?
I don't know. Maybe
5,
like
10, 15.
15
15
to
acting
20
roles?
sounds about right.
Now, are we talking films and shorts, or?
Yeah, I would say like films and shorts.
Okay. What one do you think is there one that you like more? Like shorts or films?
Shorts. Okay, I have like crazy ADHD.
That's
So
alright.
for me, like shorts are definitely easier to keep track of in my
Right.
head. Like storyline wise, how I'm supposed to be acting all the time. Full length features, especially ones that involve a lot of other people, because you have like long schedules.
Yes.
The more people that you have.
Yes.
It's so hard for me to like keep track of like where are we in the story, because you don't film from the beginning of the movie to the
Right.
end.
Sometimes
like,
the last.
unfortunately.
Sometimes the last scene is the first.
Yeah.
The shoot.
So it's definitely easier to like film shorts, and I feel like I'm more into it. But full feature films are a lot of fun too, because it's like you get to do the same thing longer and like get more into it the more that time goes on.
That's very true. So you are aware that you are on a streaming platform right now, right? On a couple of films.
Prime.
You're on Prime. You're on Tubi.
Yeah.
Are you on Netflix?
I don't think we're on Netflix, but
I don't know your whole catalog, but I don't know if there's anything that you have done with another director that somehow they was able to get access to Netflix. There is one person that we
for sure.
there's somebody that I worked with a while ago on a music video. It wasn't my project. It was actually the guy that provided the lights for my movie, Jack.
Oh, okay.
But he did a music video, working with some other individuals. I can't think of their company right now, but I want to say her last name is Blayton.
Oh, Brittany
Blayton.
Yeah.
One time I was just going through Netflix, and I seen Don't Fuck in the Woods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I screenshotted
Wait, that's
it.
on Netflix?
I'm pretty sure it was on Netflix.
It's on Tubi for sure.
Maybe I know I screenshotted it and I sent her like, hey,
Yeah.
I just ran across your stuff. It might have been Tubi. I thought it was Netflix, but it could have been Tubi. Either way,
Yeah.
When it comes down to like these, major platforms that these local movies are on,
Yeah.
like, how does that make you feel?
I think it's pretty cool. Like, I definitely, when I'm going through Tubi or Netflix or whatever, I try to look for like the smaller guys. Because we do some amazing work with what we have, but obviously we don't have as much of a budget as,
Right.
other companies do. So it's kind of obvious when you see another like small, low budget film. So I definitely try to look out for them a little more, but it's pretty cool to see like just me amongst them all.
Yeah, I seen that a story worth living. I think it's on Tubi right now. And,
it's on Amazon Prime.
And it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I know. Unfortunately I missed the premiere, but I know Vanessa. She did a lot of
she did so much.
a lot of publicity for that film.
She did just in general so much for that movie. She put everything into that.
But I will say that it shows.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
It was very good. I had a very, very small cameo part in that. I think I met you guys at the bar.
Yeah.
What was it, the Cock and Bull?
Scene. Yeah, we did Cock and Bull at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I was there that day.
Call time was it was rough, and it was so weird being at the bar at that time.
Right.
With, like, no music and nobody's there. We're just dancing and nothing, and it was.
And then when
crazy.
you see it at the end on how like it all comes together, I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what's up.
She put a lot into that, and It really shows. It's really awesome.
It was definitely her baby, and it shows, and it was a great movie. I will say it was good. It had a message. Mm-hmm. The message, unfortunately, was a depressing message, but a message that needs to be heard.
A necessary one, for sure.
Definitely a necessary one. I'm not gonna lie, I watered up. Mm-hmm. I watered up on that movie.
I still cry every time I watch it. It's based around mental health, and we just wanted to really pivot attention towards how important it is to take care of yourself. Yes. Mentally as well as physically, but it was really a strong message that she really put together well. It was a very sentimental way to say really big things.
And then on top of that, like, the acting that came with it, with what she did, like, going from the same character, but showing two complete different sides. Mm-hmm. Like, once she went to that dark place, like, I'm like...
It makes you a little uncomfortable. Yeah. It makes you physically feel uncomfortable, because I feel like every single person can relate to...
Absolutely.
Feeling that feeling. So it is uncomfortable, but you do have to be uncomfortable for growth. So
yes,
I mean, that's what hopefully. I mean, everybody seemed to really like it. We had during like film festivals, we had numerous people coming up to us and just being appreciative that we put the message out there.
Definitely. Like, it was definitely a powerful film. I'm very glad that she put that out there. I'm very glad of how well it came together and everything that happened with it, because I think she worked on it for like at least a year, maybe a little bit longer.
This woman wrote it, she directed it, she starred in it, she edited it.
She was the one that did the editing?
She did the editing.
Oh, shit.
For the most part, I believe.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but she single-handedly, I'm sure, has like watched this movie until her eyes bled. But she put all of it together, and I don't know how she did it. I mean, she stayed sane the whole time. Like, yeah. She did really well. She was working on top of that.
That's another thing too, you know, and that's one thing that some people like fail to realize. Like, you know, our community of film and like, or just any artistic thing that people are doing locally, like the most of us still got jobs.
Oh yeah, this ain't it, honey.
Yeah.
I pick up poop at a doggy daycare for a living.
Like, we still got jobs that we still gotta go to, you know, like.
Yeah.
But when it shows that just shows like the dedication of, like, you know, nothing's going to stand in our way to like get our vision out or our message out, and the people that come together to help with that, it's so valuable, you know.
Yeah.
Like, again, I've known you, I mean, now probably maybe 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
You know? And like, you know, it's like when you and we met on set.
Yeah.
You know, we met on set.
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead. We definitely met on that piece. Maybe I might want to talk about that with Lindsay, because something just came up about that I need some answers, because.
Yeah. So that movie actually, like, that director was.
It was a lot that came out, and that was years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
so that was the first movie that I was ever involved in.
That was your first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was my experience. But I met really cool people that were like, it's not always like this. Like, we don't always have like.
So the whole director like freaking out because it was raining that was on that set.
Yeah.
But I was there, I think, either 1 or 2 days. It didn't rain on the days I was there, so.
No, yeah, we did. I mean, we filmed it during summer. You just never know, like. you can guarantee some warm days, but
Right.
you can't guarantee rainless days. And, I mean, you can't guarantee any kind of day in the summer in Ohio.
Well, I will say that as long as I've known you and the things that we have done together, and then the closer that we have gotten, like, so we were both a part of that movie, but I think that we were on set at different times of that movie. Like, I don't recall.
I think so, yeah.
I don't recall being there with you when we did the house scenes.
Yeah, I was there for some of them, but not all of them.
And again, I don't know how many days that it shot for. I think I was there for like either 1 or 2 days. I want to say just the 1 day, to be honest with you.
I think I was there for a few.
But I would love to have Clint and Lindsay on the show. I might reach out to them and see how their availability is. It's not just to talk about, and I don't like a lot of like, you know, a lot of negative stuff on my platform, but I do want to have some answers, you know.
Yeah.
But between that and what else they have going on, I would definitely like to talk to them, you know, and see how things are going with them with the One Stoplight production and what they have going on, and still doing that with children.
Yeah.
You know? Like I came into it with kids, and it's definitely a battle, you know. But as long as you got like a good structure at home, like it'll work itself out. And I'm pretty sure they got a good structure at home. But definitely got to get them on the show. I thank you. And I will meet you again in the future in some project, or you can just come down to the lounge and we can just have us a drink and just talk shit with the cameras off. You know, same shit either way. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We will check you guys on another episode of the Cels Lounge. Holla back.